Guys, so I just finished watching episode 2 of Breaking Bad. I know it's been so freaking long since I reviewed the first episode, but bear with me, okay? I thought it was really, really, really good. I went to Anime NYC and I had the pleasure of being in the presence of Isayama, Hajime Isayama, creator of Attack on Titan. You already know this. But at Anime NYC, Isayama held a fan panel where he answered a few fan questions. One of the questions he answered was, what are his favorite shows? And he mentioned that he was a big fan of Breaking Bad, something we've been knowing for a long time. And he also mentioned that his character Falco was inspired loosely on Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. And with this episode, I kind of see it. I'm kind of starting to see that, okay, this is why he's kind of this Falco type of character, right? Eren was like telling Falco, oh, do this, do that, do this, do that, and Falco was doing it, right? Like, Falco's the younger one, so of course he's doing it. And I say based loosely because, obviously, Falco's doing this, this stuff for Eren Kruger from the kindness of his heart, and Jesse Pinkman's kind of doing this, like, I want to, I'm a businessman. I want to gain something out of this as well. And so that's kind of, there's a lot of differences, right? But that's just one of them. But I was starting to really, understand the whole, okay, this is that loosely based Falco character. I get it now. It's the henchmanship. One thing that kind of caught me off guard was the awkwardness between Skyler and Walter after their passionate night, and this motherfucker fell asleep in the bathroom. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm trying to figure out what things he's doing by choice and, like, what things he's kind of sick, he's doing in regards to his sickness, what things he's doing in regard to his guilt, right? Because there's a scene in the classroom where he tells the students, stop! Well, they think he's telling them to stop, but he's just sick. He's talking through his guilty conscience. It's not, I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be expanded on. I'm guessing it will be expanded on. And so I've heard something that's kind of a spoiler, maybe kind of not really, I don't know. But one of my friends, one of my IRLs who watch Breaking Bad told me that where the series is kind of going is there's going to be this whole split where you kind of choose whose side you're really on. Are you on Jesse Pinkman's side or are you on Walter White's side? And I'm really looking forward to something like that because right now I'm seeing that Walter White is becoming this like cold and calculating person, right? I do like the contrast behind the whole like humanity of him not being able to, when self-defense is immediate, when it's immediate self-defense, he was able to do what's necessary and make an attempt on the two brothers who were, antagonizing them, make an attempt on their lives with chemicals. Now that the self-defense isn't so immediate, in my opinion, killing the other brother, the one who's locked in the basement, in my opinion, that would still be considered self-defense in a way because he did try to kill him first and would definitely kill him if he was set free and his family. But by definition, I believe self-defense in the situation would be him calling the police. Self-defense is the least amount of force you can use to get yourself out of harm's way. If that's fighting back, then it's fighting back. But if that's calling the police, then self-defense would be calling the police. And in this case, it would be calling the police. But they can't call the police because they're drug dealers, makers, cookers, sellers, distributors, all of that, right? So Skyler, to me, while she is this sort of like badass figuring shit out, right? She is on Walter's fucking ass, right? And that scene was so fucking funny at the hospital when, well, okay, it was sad first, but then it got funny. He tells Skyler, I need you to climb up out of my ass. Like the wording of that was just so funny. He didn't say like, get off my ass right away, right? He said, climb up out of my ass. And then he ends it with, like, get out of my ass. Get off my ass, please. And I agreed with him there because one of their first scenes alone together we see of them is this whole hand job. It's Walter's 50th birthday. As she's giving this man a hand job, she's telling him, hey, like, are you going to paint the shed? You said you would paint the shed. lady, focus on the hand job. Like, you're on his ass right now while you're trying to do something for him. No wonder the sex has been horrible, right? You're like telling him to do like manual labor while you're trying to get him off, right? And then this, like I said, I'm kind of confused at what exactly is this, how much of his actions are like due to his sickness and how much is his like guilt complex. So in other words, why did he sleep in the bathroom? Did he choose to do that? Like, I'm kind of confused. Did he choose to sleep in the bathroom? Was he too sick to get up? Did he feel guilty? Like, I'm just confused. Why did he choose to sleep in the bathroom? Why did he say stop in the classroom? Why did he do these things? And then we can just see like his coughing is getting worse and worse and worse. Something that made me tear up, like legitimately tear up, was the scene in the hospital when Skylar's like, oh my God, it's a girl. We've always wanted a girl. And Walt's like, yeah, oh my God, I wished it was a girl. I'm so happy about this. Skylar turns to Walt and she's like, remember you said that when she turned 16. At this point, Walter would be lucky if he's there when she's born. Right, like his time is running out. His clock is running out. And you just see that moment in his face. You see it in his face. He's like at first he's like, yeah, when she's 16, huh? And then he's like, I will not be here for that. It just struck me, bro. It hurt. It hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. It hurt. I was like, oh my God, like my guy is out here like, my guy's out here running out of time. I felt so horrible. But like I was saying earlier, we see Walter White becoming a little more calculating and cold as he's telling Jesse, like, we're going to flip a coin. We have to kill this other guy. We're going to your house. Okay, we're going to do this at your house. And Jesse's like, what the fuck? No, we're not. We're not going to do this at my house. And it's like, I understand from his perspective, who wants that shit at their own house? Absolutely not. But it did make the most sense as Jesse lives by himself and Walter's got a whole family. It makes the most sense, but keeping in mind the little spoiler my friend gave me, it is like, okay, I have a feeling that Walter is going to push the envelope more and more and more, see what he can kind of push on to Jesse. Right now it seems pretty fair, honestly. One person gets, one person has to dissolve the body, one person has to kill the other guy. I personally do not think they're gonna have it in them to kill that guy. I don't know. I do view it as this like kind of self-defense type of thing. I do view it in that way. But at the same time, I just think they really focused on the humanity. Like, here's someone who's already dead. Fuck it, let's dissolve the body. And then it was amazing, like, how they captured this Jesse talking to himself. I do that to myself as well. Like, when I'm taking out the garbage and there's maggots in it, I have this really terrible, horrible fear of bugs. When I'm taking out the garbage and there's maggots in it, I literally have to talk to myself like that. They're in a garbage, they're not going to touch you, they're not going to touch you, they're not going to touch you, they're not going to touch you. They're in a bag, they're not going to touch you, they're not going to touch you, they're fine. Just get it, take it, go. The sooner you get it done, the sooner you can stop thinking about it, right? All of this is, I'm talking to myself, right? I have to talk to myself to be able to do it. And then I do, and then I end up doing it. And that talking to myself really helps me to get the thing done. And that's kind of what Jesse does. And I'm like, that's so realistic. And like, it's a small fucking thing to pick up on, but it really does help you believe in the character, if that makes sense. Like, I believe I'm watching Jesse Pinkman and not some actor in a role for Breaking Bad. I'm watching Jesse Pinkman, right? And then obviously Walter White, the acting is phenomenal. Skylar is like, you go girl, you're figuring stuff out. I love it. I definitely think Walter was smart to lie and be like, hey, he's just selling me marijuana. I knew he was going to do that. I knew it because hey, he starts smoking, right? And I knew he was going to start smoking, right? Like, I haven't seen any spoilers about him smoking or anything, but I just knew there's no way you're around all of that weed and you're not going to smoke a little of it. Come on, bro. Nah. But what I was thinking was that the instant that other brother escaped the van, I thought Walter was going to hit him with his car. And I was like, okay, well, no, maybe that wouldn't be so smart because there would be like physical evidence of some sort of collision on his car. And how's he going to explain that to his wife? Also, they can't afford it. So I was like, okay, well, this makes sense that he didn't do that. Okay, I get it. But like, what's the alternative? Going to jail for murder? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, okay. All in all, I give this episode a quick 7 out of 10. We're kind of just laying the framework to see Walter White get a little more black. Walter Gray, if you will. We have him slowly starting to coerce Jesse to do more and more and more, which is interesting. And I know it's going to hit a climax at some point because of that spoiler my friend gave me, that at some point the series becomes, whose side are you on, Jesse's or Walter's? And I'm already starting to see that with the whole heads or tails thing, with the whole weird, this is going to happen at your house, right? You can see even Jesse's getting fed up about it. He's like talking as he's putting the acid in his tub, and then the floor and the ceiling of his bathroom falls out because this dumbass didn't listen to the chemistry teacher. Now, what I do find interesting about this show is I feel like people without the best intentions will watch the show and, like, who knows, maybe even take notes on some of the things we're seeing in the show. And I feel like that can be a little dangerous. Just something I was thinking about. I was like, if you tell somebody via a TV show how to dissolve a human body, is that good? I don't know. But at the same time, it is television. It could just be like, you know, it could just be some bullshit. Oh yeah, if you slice the Titan at its nape, it dies or some shit. You know, it could just be some like TV, this solves the problem, instead of like, this is applicable to real life. And yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts on this episode of Breaking Bad. See you guys next time for my next review. I promise it will not be as long as you had to wait for this one. Anyways, I'm gonna head out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment, like, and subscribe. Do you guys like my outfit? You like my hair? I just went on a Valentine's Day date. Don't I look pretty? I decided to go as like casual, like femme, casual femme, but like also a little butch. My shoes were like so butch. I'm wearing pants. First thing I did when I got off my date was I watched Breaking Bad episode 2. And then I filmed this video immediately. So we went to Fogo de Chao, and I'm just waiting for all of that meat I ate to drop into my lower intestine so I can let it pass. It's not going so well right now, but pray for me, guys. Anyways, see you later.